Hey, what is up everybody? I am Jason and you watch my channel, Micro Investor. So in this video, we're going to be talking about a stock that I can see that could possibly be performing like the next Neo stock. And that is Kandi Technologies, ticker symbol KNDI. Now Kandi's not any sort of new company. They were actually founded back in 2002 and they've been trading here in the United States since they went public back in 2006 through a reverse merger. Now, Kandi's business for the longest time consisted of making gas-powered all-terrain vehicles and selling electric car parts. Now, what makes Kandi such an interesting stock is not that long ago, they decided to start making electric vehicles. Now, they had very little electric vehicle sales in 2019, but what makes it interesting is that now they're saying that they're going to start producing electric vehicles for sale in the United States. And they have two vehicles, the K23 and the K27. Now, both these vehicles are very similar in design, like, say, the Mini Cooper. Now, these are four-door vehicles, but they're very small, very compact vehicles, and there could possibly be a market in the United States for these things. If not, I'm sure that there could be a potential bigger market in China. Now, the way that Kandi is able to sell their vehicles here in the United States is that they acquired a company in Garland, Texas called SC Autosports. And then that became Kandi America's headquarters. So there's much more I want to get into about Kandi, but before I do, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor, and please be sure to smash, destroy, and annihilate that like button, because it does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps spread this video to more people that might find it interesting. And as always, everybody, please subscribe if you have not already. Now let's get to this. So let's look at Kandi stock. So on the date that I'm filming this is November 23rd, and on this day, Kandi stock went up nearly 24%, and after hours trading, it went up over 9%. So the stock has had an amazing run on this day that I'm filming, and if we look at Kandi over the week, the stock has gone up 100%. Now, just to look back even more at this run, we can see that over the last month, Kandi stock is up 130%, and over the last 3 months, 141%. And over the last year, 237%. And we can see that it has this big run up here. This is the recent one, and this is the time that everybody is very bullish on buying into EV stocks. But as we can see, the stock was trading at around $7 not that long ago. I mean, we're just talking, just weeks here. This stock has just shot up a lot. Now let's take a look at the two vehicles that Kandi is going to be bringing here in the market in the United States and get an idea of their specs and the amazing price that they're going to be charging for their EV vehicles. We'll start first with their model, the K23, and this is the bigger one. This one has a price of $27,500, and after a federal tax credit of $7,500, the price of the vehicle is $20,000. Now there's also state tax incentives as well, and some can be as good as $2,500 more that can be deducted from this price. The K23 goes 72 miles per hour top speed, and has a range of 111 miles per charge, which is equivalent to 94 miles per gallon if it was a gas-powered vehicle in the city, or 86 miles per gallon in the highway. It has a 41.4 kilowatt-hour lithium battery that takes 7.5 hours to charge on a level 2 charger, and it would take even longer if it was a level 1 charger. The vehicle can also seat 4 adults. Now let's look at the K27. The price of it is $17,500, but after a $7,500 tax credit, it is as low as $10,000. And if you were to throw on state incentives as well, some states having incentives that are like $2,000 or more, that can easily be an $8,000 vehicle. Now the specs are different on the K27 compared to the K23. The K27 has a top speed of 68 miles per hour and it has a range of 59 miles per charge. But the vehicle does have a better economy as far as if you were going to compare it to a gas-powered vehicle, where it would get the equivalent of 127 miles per gallon in the city or 102 miles per gallon on the highway. Now the battery on this is a 17.69 kilowatt-hour lithium battery, and it takes 7 hours to charge on a level 2 charger, and obviously again longer on a level 1. This vehicle can also seat 4 adults. And just like many other EV vehicles, Kandi does have touchscreen displays like all the others at this very low price. Another interesting spec about these Kandi vehicles is that Kandi recently announced that they have battery exchange technology. So if this is going to be something that's going to be in these vehicles and they're going to sell these in the United States, they could possibly be the first EV company that is doing such a thing. Now, that's another thing that makes me compare Kandi to NIO. On November 9th, Kandi released their third quarter financials, and let's not do any sort of comparison to the third quarter of 2019, just because that was before the pandemic, and Kandi's actually doing a lot more different stuff right now than they were back then. So Kandi's total revenues were $18.7 million, and their electric vehicle sales and their off-road vehicle sales make up a majority of all that revenue, which isn't really a whole lot of money. Now, I remind you that the off-road vehicle sales are not EV vehicles. Those are gas-powered off-road vehicles, and we're talking about small little vehicles like scooters and stuff like that. Now, as of September 30th, 2020, Kandi's working capital was $79.8 million, and their cash and cash equivalents and restricted cash was $24.2 million. Now, since Kandi is wanting to sell their own EV vehicles and sell those in the United States, Kandi needs to raise some more money. So on November 10th, Kandi announced the private placement of $60 million of stock. And then as their stock started to go back up again, on November 20th, they announced private placement of $100 million of stock. Now, as you can see, that both times that they announced this, it did have an effect on their stock price, but it was only very temporarily, and the stock continued to recover from that and go up from there. And since Kandi has now managed to raise more money, they're also saying that they're going to start taking orders of their EV vehicles by December. So here very quickly, these vehicles should be available for sale, but no idea when they're going to start actually taking deliveries. Now that's a whole different thing. But there have been some people that have signed up to be dealers of Kandi vehicles. Now what Kandi's trying to market to is people that are needing the vehicle just for something simple like to point A to point B. Like say a college student that needs a vehicle just to get to class on time, but not something like a scooter that can be out in the rain, but something that can just be able to go short distances and get from point A to point B and then back safely. That can be a huge market for Kandi, and especially since their vehicles are not too expensive, easily that a college student can afford, or parents are nice enough to buy their son or daughter one of these. That can be very beneficial as well. And there's also people that would buy it that don't really need a vehicle for much use, and it's very low cost and it's EV. So there are some beneficial factors to buying this vehicle that I can see that people would be interested in buying it. So anyways, I'd like to hear everybody's opinions on Kandi. Do you think this is a stock that, if everything works out, that this could be a company that can be possibly the next NIO? I mean, we're talking a ways down the line, of course, but does anybody agree with that? Anyways, I'd like to hear everybody's opinion. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I have new videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next video coming very soon.